All right, we're on part 2 of creating our Harry Potter Gryffindor scarf, or if you've chosen another Hogwarts house, that's fine too. Our first part was creating the slip knot. So I'm going to do that real quick. If you have not created your slip knot yet, now is the time. Get that slip knot on there. And if you need to see some slow-mo of how to get that slip knot, go back to part 1 of this series. So once you have the slip knot on, we are going to work on the foundation chain. So this comes off 2 different directions. I am going to have the short piece going off to my right, the long piece connected to the ball of yarn to the left, or the skein of yarn. All right, so the foundation chain itself is not very difficult. The most difficult row you're going to do is row 2, okay? With a little bit of practice, this will be old hat and you'll be fine. I think one of the most difficult things to do is to modulate how hard you're pulling on this long string and how you're pulling on it. So sometimes I'll wrap it around my finger to keep a little bit of tightness, a little bit of tension. Sometimes I'll fold my hand and just hold it with those, my 2 smallest fingers. That cramps up quickly for me, but it is possible and you can do that. The other side's going to be held with your index finger, your first finger on your hand. All right, so again, I have my short side off to the right, my long side off to the left. I am going to face myself with the crochet hook. It's pointing towards me. And the top of the slip knot I have towards the back of the hook. Do you see where that's at the back of the hook? And I'm moving it down 1 inch to 1.5 inches from the throat of the hook. I'm going to hold it down so it doesn't spin. Let me show you what happens if you don't hold it down. I'm going to yarn over, pull, whoop, it won't hold. So you're going to have to hold it down with your finger pressure. One of the terms you're going to learn now is yarn over. Yarn over. All right, so the yarn starts in the back. You've got that knot, it's coming off the knot, it's going backwards. What you're going to do is put it towards you over the top of the crochet hook. You can't go backwards, it won't work. Over the top, yarn over. Now, after I've yarned over, I like to make sure that the yarn goes into the throat of the hook. You see how that works? Why? Well, because I'm going to be pulling this yarn through this hole, and if it's up here, it's going to be more difficult. Try to make things easy on yourself if you can. So look, I have that pulled in there. Now I'm going to pinch. I'm going to let go on the top. I'm going to pinch the short piece, and I'm going to pull it towards me a little bit of that slip knot. And as I pull it towards me, look, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. This is a huge loop. We don't want a loop that big. That's like a 1/2 inch loop. So I'm going to make it a little smaller. I'd say that's a 1/4 inch loop now. You can see there's some space between the hook and the knot. But that's only about a 1/4 inch of space. And I'm going to go back and hold it again with the knot just like it was before, with the knot facing the back of the hook. Put my finger on it, yarn over, make sure it's put underneath the head of the hook in the throat. Now I'm going to come back and pinch and rotate my hook so the hook is facing down. Previously it was towards me, now it's facing down. Towards me, down. Now the reason I want it to be down, let me show you what happens if it's still towards you. It gets caught on the loop that you're trying to bring it through. If, however, you face it down, it has the opportunity to slide through that gap you've created. Let me try to show you where the gap is. You see? So let me just try it one more time. I'm going to put my finger on it, yarn over, make sure it's locked into that throat. It's towards me. Now I'm going to pinch the short string and bring the slip knot to the bottom. I'm going to turn my crochet hook down and drag it slowly through the loop. Ta-da! You have done your first chain stitch. Congratulations. All right, to do your second chain, I'm going to pull on the crochet hook slightly, and it's going to come from this side, the yarn that's going into this loop. And I'm going to make the crochet hook go up a little bit. And can you see how the yarn moves back and forth? You want to make all of these chain stitches as close to the same size as possible. The first one we shot for 1/4 inch. We're going to shoot for that again. I believe that's about 1/4 inch. I'm going to turn it so you can see how much is underneath, the opening underneath the loop. All right, let me turn it back this way. Now, after we have that first chain stitch, I can now pinch it. This is my thumb and my middle finger, and I'm pinching that slip knot at the bottom. I'm going to put 1/4 inch. You can either hold it here or pull down here, your call, or you can do both. I guess it'd be kind of hard, but either way. So your goal now is to yarn over again, put a little bit of tension, and I'm going to pull down just like we did last time. Turn the crochet hook down towards you, towards the bottom of the loop, I guess I should say, and pull it through. All right, pull up on your crochet hook, make sure you have about 1/4 inch, hold it, yarn over. Now I'm going to hang on to the chain we're creating, let go on the top. I'm pulling up a little bit on my crochet hook. I'm making sure it's turned towards the bottom of the loop. I'm pulling through. We now have 3 V's. Do you see how the V is created? 1, 2, 3. The top of the stitches are a V. The bottom of the stitches is a little bump. You see the little bump there? So the top looks like V's, the bottom looks like a little bump. So we have 3 V's. We are going to do 20 V's. All right, so now I'm going to do my 4th one. I'm going to pull up on my crochet hook a little bit to create that 1/4 inch space. Hold it down, yarn over. Turn my crochet hook towards the bottom of the loop. Gently pull through. If one of your stitches doesn't work for you, it's okay to take the crochet hook out, set it aside, and you can pull on this long part here, and you can undo as many stitches as you like to redo. So I'm going to pull and take out 1. Do you see? When you take out 1, you have this loop at the top. You can put your crochet hook right back, so using the top of the stitches, like that. And I'm going to pull down a little bit to tighten it up. just a smidge. Put it back in position. All right, now we're ready to go again. I'm going to pull up on the crochet hook to create a 1/4 inch loop. Put my finger on top, yarn over, move the yarn to the throat of the hook, turn the hook towards the bottom of the loop, pull through. Let's do it again. Pull up on the hook, create a 1/4 inch, finger, yarn over, pull down, turn the crochet hook down, pull through. Yarn over, turn the crochet hook down, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. Yarn over. This will feel very awkward until you start figuring out a natural way for you to hold slight tension on the longer end of the yarn. And like I said, I do it different ways depending on how my hand is feeling. It doesn't really matter. Just make sure you're not pulling hard. This is the foundation chain. If you do this very tightly and don't leave that 1/4 inch of space in each loop, you will regret it on row 2, which is the most difficult row. So work with me, make sure you keep that 1/4 inch, yarn over, pull through, pull up, yarn over, pull through. I'm going to count and see how many I have so far. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Never count the one that's on the hook. That doesn't count. It's a non-counter. So we're at 11. I'm going to go up to 20. So I'm going to hold it here, yarn over, turn my crochet hook towards the bottom of the loop and pull through. Pull up on my crochet hook, back 1/4 inch, yarn over, yarn over, yarn over, and that would be a weather emergency, flash flood. Okay, turn that off. Okay, I think we've got a few more to go. And keep going, yarn over. Make sure the hook is turned down towards the bottom of the loop, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Make sure you leave that 1/4 inch. It is very important. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, I'm going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 7, whoops, you can't even see it. All right, let me try that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. I went too far, so I'm going to take out one of them. So my original thought is to have this be 20 stitches long. A 20 stitch long scarf looks about like that. And the measurement for it, 1 minute, let me go get a 20 chain long crochet pattern here with our number 4 hook. Now remember, this will change if you used a bigger hook or if you're leaving a bigger gap more than the 1/4 inch. So with my 4mm hook, it's measuring about 5 inches. If you want a wider scarf, put more chains. However many chains you put, I want you to write it down. So let me get out my handy dandy unicorn pen here, which incidentally lights up, so it's quality. Make yourself a note. Row 1, and then you put the number of chains. And we're making this one 20 chains long plus 1 chain. The plus 1 chain is going to provide height. So let me just double check. I want 21 chains all together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. And this loop at the end that my crochet hook was in doesn't count. That will get us to the end of our foundation chain, row 1. All right, if you want to take a mental break now, you can either use your stitch marker, or if you don't have a stitch marker, you could use a binder clip or a bobby pin, but find some way to put a break so this can't accidentally come undone and your work comes undone. All right, that will get us our foundation chain. Next time, we're going to work on row 2, which is our introduction to single crochet stitches. See you then.